Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. An important note for the 22-23 school year, we're going to take a different angle with our video version of the connection. I'm not going to get deep into all of our topics from our written version. What I'm going to do is just tell everyone on the video what topics are covered in the written version, and then you as a family can decide if you want to explore further. There may be a topic or two that we go a little bit deeper into in the video connection, but the goal is to make them short, sweet, and to the point so our families can decide if they want to look at the written version deeper. So let's get going. You'll notice in this connection that we have an update on the New York State Department of Health guidance for COVID-19. We have some back-to-school updates that feature the first day of school, busing information, back-to-school toolkit, online calendars, and new Chromebook insurance option. And once again, on that option, folks, it is completely optional for parents. Nothing is mandatory. It's meant to be there as something that helps families if they so choose to take advantage of it. Some next sections are our school highlights, and we're talking about our food service, experimenting with delicious new options and recipes for this upcoming school year. There's a section on how our district is being recognized by the Kenton Chamber of Commerce. We focus on summer school graduation and how we celebrated those graduates at summer school graduation. We talk about the district organizing our I want to say our first, but it's not. We're going back to something in our tradition, and it is our history tour. We started with our new teachers, and there's a section on that bus tour. And finally, with the highlights, we rounded off with the hundreds of people that attended our annual kindergarten bus orientation event. So that brings us to the end of the connection, and you could decide if you want to look at our connection and read deeper about any of those topics. I really encourage you to look at all of them because a lot of exciting things are going on in Kenton, even though the school year hasn't started. Today, I want to really focus on the New York State Department of Health guidance and get a little bit deeper into that. I'm going to read these bullets to you and then summarize it for you. New York State Department of Health no longer requires screening, testing, test to stay, positive case reporting, contact tracing, or COVID quarantine restrictions. Just as the case before we went through the pandemic, families will need to monitor their children's symptoms and keep them home when sick. Families must also be prepared to come to school and get their child if they exhibit symptoms of an illness during the school day. You should have your child tested for COVID-19 if you suspect he or she has the virus. Additional at-home tests are being distributed at the beginning of the school year. If the child tests positive, he or she would need to follow the New York State isolation guidelines to stay home for 5 days. Test results do not need to be provided to the school, and the child would be able to return to school on day 6 if he or she is fever-free for 24 hours and symptoms are improving. The child should wear a mask from day 6 until day 10. So just to summarize, folks, the best way I could summarize it is, for the most part, think back to 2019. That's the protocol that we're following. I need parents' help. We all need parents' help. If your child is sick with any symptoms of any illness, they should not be coming to school. Now, further, if you suspect COVID-19, make sure you get them tested. And then if they do test positive, you don't need to report that to us anymore. You take care of it as a family, but they are, according to this guidance, supposed to remain in isolation through day 5. They can return to school day 6 through 10 if they're masked. And that is the long and short of it. We are hopefully... You'll see that we are completely coming out of the pandemic, and the way that I could refer to this best is think about our procedures in 2019, and that's how we'll continue to work together. That brings us to the end of the connection, and just to remind you, if you want to read even more about that New York State Department of Health guidance, we have links within the connection. Make sure to refer to the connection. And also, folks, it is just wonderful to say we are back. We're ready for this school year. Just like pre-pandemic times, we are absolutely looking forward to fall. Reminder, there are no classes for students next week. Our staff do come back next week, but students start actually that Tuesday, right after Labor Day. We will have a connection next Friday that focuses on a couple more topics. But for now, I want you to have a wonderful weekend and enjoy your families. Thank you for tuning in.